All right, and we are live here with the Phoenix Rising Masterclass. Thank you all for joining me once again. It's always a pleasure and privilege for me to share my gifts with all of you. And the Phoenix has indeed risen because we have ignited our passion in a whole new way than ever before, rising above the past, stepping into the reality that we prefer. And now we have some amazing souls who have participated with us at this day at this time who would wish to share their experiences in the class. So let's please begin with Nikki. Please share, what did you experience in the class today? And you are muted, so please unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. From the very beginning of the breathing meditation, I was pulling in from the heavens above, and it was coming through my heart space, and vice versa. I was pulling in through my heart space and upwards. And I didn't see anything wrong with that. Well, I thought it was perfect, and it felt great. But then by the end of the meditation, I was pulling in from above and from the ground, from Mother Earth, and it was naturally pulling out of my heart space. So that was a very beautiful experience to be able to just fully anchor heaven on earth and um, just not having to do anything about it, just it naturally pulling outwards. And that was just beautiful. So thank you.
Oh, wow, that's magnificent. And that's just a testament to when you're aligned, things are just happening. You're simply observing your life unfold. You're no longer the doer, you're the observer, and you're observing your avatar, your character, Nikki or Matthew or Harry, whomever it may be, just participating in this life. And that's really what it's all about. There's no reason to stress because source power is supplying us with everything we need. So thank you, Nikki, for embodying that and truly demonstrating it to yourself as well as to the group.
Thank you.
Amazing. All right, Harry, please share.
Yeah, hi. I don't know why I feel like sharing almost every time, but here we are.
Yeah,
um,
please.
it was it was it was really really great this time, and I've been trying to think about how I'm gonna say this, but I feel like genuinely just so much more connected to everyone after that. It's it just going through, as you guided us through the process, visualizing um you know the earth in its highest frequency, and we're all resonating with her at the same, and it's just embodying that and having that exchange of energy all the time. It's just, oh my goodness, I'm just in a state of bliss, and I just wanted to to share that a little bit. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. That's what it's all about. This is real. This is a real experience. We are multi-dimensional beings, and we're simply becoming more and more aware of that. We're not limited. And over the next couple of years, we're going to see this evolve more and more in our businesses, in our lives, in our economy, in our government. Everything is going to transform and change. It already has been. And we're simply aligning with the greatest version that already exists. So it's not that we have to create it from nothing. We simply have to align with the state of being where we're in that reality. And believe me, we all are there more than ever before, here and now, after this collective experience. And please, Angel, share what you experienced in the class today.
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for being in this universe, Matthew, because you're right. We are all creating our own realities, but you are such a center focus and point for us to do that right now. You're part of the manifestations for us. So thank you for being that reflection for us and speaking your truth and making it possible for us to see our own truth through you speaking your truth every day. So I just want to thank you for that. It's kind of like sitting down and getting a tarot card reading, and you could say they're just cards, but we hear our own truth through that reading. And So, that vessel is there and we can feel grateful for the tarot cards, or we could just see them as cards and not care about them. And you are just such a vessel of inspiration, and your truth matters. And the memberships that you're putting together, because I've really seen the infrastructure of what you offer. It is such a blessing to this world. I've really connected with your experience, and it's just so many pieces of what people need. And I just thank you for that. So just keep doing your wonderful work.
Oh, well, thank you, Angel. You are an
Thank you.
angel, so thank you for sharing your truth with us.
Before today, there was a lot of synchronicities that brought me here. And so I just want to share the value of synchronicity. I really believe in that. So many synchronicities brought me on this call today. And then your live stream talked about today, before this call, you talked about something you said really resonated for me. I'm my thing, my frequency, or my question to the universe right now, or my thing that I need to overcome, is putting out my content to groups, because I'm so good at helping people one-on-one, and I've done it so fabulously. My system works. I'm serving at my highest, but I do a lot of groups like this, but I haven't done it and monetized that experience, even though it's what I teach. And healer, heal thyself. That's what I'm learning to do. And so your words today gave me permission, because you said something along the lines of be more intuitive and stop overthinking it, something along the lines of just allow me to be myself. And it released me. And your meditation today, while I was experiencing it and I was visualizing myself, I kind of just released in the experience, and I had playfulness and abundance, and I just had an emotional release. I had tears just streaming down
Oh,
my
beautiful.
face. And that emotional feeling just allowed me to visualize myself. And so I was able to put myself in the process of, I'm already in the process of, my work is there. I'm already connecting with hundreds of people every week on this subject, and I'm already serving at that level. And so it just helped me to step into that leadership and realize that I'm already there, and I just need to have more acceptance. And I'm there. I used to see myself as somebody that, when I was a kid, never followed through, never got things done. And now I'm the one that always follows through and always gets things done and always helps people. And now I'm ready to share that story. So it's just really exciting to be here. And the last thing that occurs to me to share is that great leaders spend a lot of time in their week visualizing, like what we just did. And I think a lot of people are underestimating the value of this, just spending time together, visualizing like this, and how important it is and how it feeds us. And I just want to give gratitude to all of you, because I could feel your energy and you helped me visualize. And so I don't think we can do this alone. Thank you. I'm going to show up some more. I love you guys. It was a great experience, and I'm excited to do it again. And I am better for it. So thanks.
Oh, that's magnificent, Angel. And just by show of hands, does everyone feel Angel's power as she's sharing there, that heart energy? Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much. Excellent. Alan, yes, please share your experience.
Thank you. I just want to say thanks for letting me be involved in this experience today. I noticed during the first meditation that I was able to just experience being in the present, which doesn't happen a lot for me. So that was nice. Said something about recognizing things that hold us back. And I recognized one of the things for me is lack versus abundance. I have this inner dialogue that I don't deserve abundance. Not because of other people. I guess I don't know the root cause of it. But then you were talking about going through this exercise, being in a new group, was creating a new reality, and I was able to embrace that. It's going to take some daily practice. It's not going to happen just one time and stick. It's going to take some reinforcement. But I appreciated that. I'm going through this. after this exercise is a different reality. It's a different time. It's a different space, and I do deserve abundance. So I appreciate this exercise again. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you, Alan. That's spectacular. And that's an excellent point to draw upon is if you think about what does it take to be the best version of you? What does that look like? Right? I mean, if you think about an Olympic athlete, what are they doing daily to train for the gold medal? They're practicing, right? They're in the environment of transforming their body, transforming their mindset, transforming their entire world in order to achieve that gold medal. Simultaneously, the best athletes don't have any insistence on it. They know what the goal is, but however it unfolds is how it's meant to unfold. So that's the nature of what we're creating here. We're practicing our highest vibration every time we gather. Simultaneously, we're not insisting that something needs to happen because insistence creates resistance. And if you're in resistance, then your reality will persist. So rather than allowing your reality to persist in the way that you don't prefer, you can let go of the resistance and allow your reality to transform and evolve in the way that it needs to. And that's what this is all about. So we're fully embracing this collectively here to embody this idea that a master, it's not about what's happening outside. It's about what's happening inside. And that naturally affects what's happening outside under most circumstances, but that's a byproduct. That's a secondary benefit. Does that make sense to everyone just by show of hands here? Do you all get what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. All right, Michael, please share.
So a few months ago, you introduced me to the gamma breathing, and I was really stressed out when on that day, and it really relaxed me. And right after that class, I started getting all these people were coming up to me talking about breathing. I got this Wim Hof, synchronicity about breathing. And somebody told me that breathing is the most sacred thing that a human can do, like our breathing, because if you aren't breathing, you aren't alive. And so I've been doing a lot of breathing work, and it's incredible how relaxed I felt during the class. I've done a different kind of breathing when I haven't been with you. I did the Wim Hof stuff, and I think this gamma breathing is probably the most powerful. And going back to what Angel said, I got a lot of synchronicities too coming to this class. I've wanted to go every week that I haven't been here, and I've been purging a lot of poison out of me lately. And I finally got to a point where I'm like, I've been so comfortable with being in my own skin. And I'm grateful to be here. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, thank you, Michael. We're grateful to have you here. And as I said earlier, everyone's contribution is absolutely essential to this evolution of what we are creating together. So definitely appreciate you being here. Thank you. I noticed Harry, when I asked the last question if everyone understood what I was saying, Harry responded yes and no. Harry, did you have a question about that?
It was more of like I understand conceptually, like intellectually, but I didn't quite understand it intuitively, if that makes sense.
So the idea of not insisting on what's happening in your life, right? Because if you insist upon something, then you're basically locking it in place. You're resisting the allowing of it to transform into what it needs to be, right? So it's like people talk about goal setting, and the idea is that, well, I better achieve this goal, or insert your level of negative thinking that comes after that, right? But the idea is, well, maybe that goal is best for you. Maybe it's going to transpire in a different way than you originally thought, because your human mind is not the conceiver of reality. Your human mind, your human brain is the perceiver and the receiver of reality. It's your higher mind that is the conceiver of reality. So reality is being created from the higher mind. Now, if your human perspective gets into alignment with that, then you can get an idea of what you're creating. What's the probability that I'll achieve my goal? You're understanding?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, no, and I had a realization of in my own experience in this life of how this all works. So just thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just by show of hands for everyone else, is that making sense how it actually works here? Absolutely. Yes, Yasmin, did you have something to share?
I was going to ask a question and you
Yes,
answered it because I was leaning back to see what happened, to see if anything would come to me instead of pushing for things to happen.
Yeah.
And like in my time zone, quarter to your time zone, and loads of synchronicities have been happening, and I feel a lot better rather than trying to push. I'm relaxing, leaning back, letting it happen. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what it's all about. Just let go and let God, as the phrase goes. But the significance is understanding what that means. And Harry brought up a great point, is a lot of this information, people are understanding it conceptually, but are they actually weaving into their lives? And so that's where the rubber meets the road. If you're not living with these vibrations, then what's the point? Yes, yes.
It was really hard to lean back, but I had to, it's just, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what to do. If you're overwhelmed, that's a great indicator to practice meditation. That's a great indicator to practice letting go. That's a great indicator to have a nap. Right? Whatever you can do to loosen up, because nothing's going to happen from that place of constriction. And even if you do achieve something, does it ever feel good? Like, so what? Right? Like if you forced it to happen, right? Like I remember growing up as a child and my dad, like, teaching me to ride a bike, for instance. And it was the most arduous experience of my life. And it's like, yeah, I started like riding a bike and, maybe, in the long term, fine, I had the skill, but it wasn't like enjoyable or anything like that. So, you have to determine for yourself, like, is it just about the outcome, right? Is it just about the final painting on the canvas of your life? Is it just like, this is it? Okay. Or is it about the process? Is it about enjoying each brush stroke of paint across the canvas and considering each color and considering the feeling that you're having as you're considering the outline? And Michael has some wonderful art behind him that he's created. So whether you're literally creating art on a canvas or you're metaphorically creating the art of your life, then that's the idea. It's all about the journey. It's all about the process. And the result will be whatever it needs to be. That's amazing. Right? That's basically a glimpse into Michael's mind. And that's what this is all about. Our life is a glimpse into who we are. Look around you. Look at the people you have. Look at the quality of your health. Look at the quality of your bank account. Look at the quality of your relationships. Look at the quality of your perspective. And there's no good or bad or right or wrong. It's just these are reflections of your current state of being. Absolutely. Yes, Kasia.
Hello, everyone. I just realized how weird the life is sometimes before knowing what we are learning here during those sessions with you guys, and going through this shifting from 3D to 5D, because I think I was raised this way, and I can see most of the people are raised this way, that we are pushed, like we are like, you have to do it, you have to achieve it, go do it, work harder, read more exercise, more homework, more this, more that. But then we are not taught to slow down and focus on ourselves. We are not focused on like, but what about you? I was blessed that my daughter was 12 years at the Montessori school. That is really shifting a little bit, maybe not on that mind work, but it's allowing kids to grow their own interests, to see if they like science or math or English better than other subjects. But before that, I've never experienced that, you know, what you really want or what you really feel like you belong, where you belong, what's your journey. Like you have no voice because you are being pushed to, I mean, it's so fake. So it's very interesting where we are all going together and how we can, you know, discover our own journeys and how better we can be for our next generation if we plan to create new lives. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Kasia. Absolutely. It's all about being peaceful where you are. It doesn't matter what's going on for other people. And obviously, if you're inspired to support them, then reach out. But if you're not, or if they're not willing to receive your assistance, that's okay. It's no reflection of you. So that's an excellent question, Lloyd. How do you transition into 5D, fifth dimensional reality, when your partner's in 3D? I'm going to dissect this. People may not like the answer, but just by show of hands, how many people would rather hear the truth than what they want to hear? Yeah.
I know this one.
All right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I know
that's all
this one
good.
from
No,
Reggie
I think
Masters,
you'll appreciate it, Lloyd, and feel free here to, you know, come in and have a conversation with me here for a couple minutes. But the idea of it's all you, like they're not separate from you. You're either in fifth dimensional reality or you're not. And when you're in fifth dimensional reality, it may appear that other people are not living in that reality, even your partner. This sounds very strange, and I'm going to use this analogy which you'll understand and then bring it to a practical level. When you're watching the news, it's on television. But how many of you get the idea that that's not necessarily your reality? Right? Like just because it's on TV doesn't mean it's happening in your reality. It's literally happening in a different version of Earth. Literally, like I'm not being euphemistic here or metaphorical. It's like literally a different reality. So when you decide that, okay, that reality doesn't have anything to do with me, and therefore why would I pay attention, because it's not something I need. Obviously, if it triggers you, then you may want to look at the reasons why, and that's a different conversation about going into your core beliefs. But the point is that reality is not you. So when you're looking at your partner and they're going through a particular reality experience, it may seem as though it's influencing you and affecting you in a particular way, but that's still your choice. You're still deciding how you're engaging in it. And I understand, you know, I mean, I was in a relationship with Gail for 5 years, who was a super powerful, potent, emotionally potent woman, right? So I'm not speaking from, you know, concepts here. Like I know what it's like when that level of influence is in your life. And Gail's laughing hysterically right now, by the way. She's definitely present in the conversation from the spiritual realm. But that's the human nature, right? And we've chosen that path. Why? Because it really fortifies ourselves. It fortifies our character. So when you can handle that level of energy, because I know your partner, Lloyd, in particular, is an emotionally potent person who has a lot of energy, a lot of love. And she's obviously going through her own transition process to understand how to harness that effectively while you're on that journey with her. And you're on the same path. So I don't think she is in a 3D world. I think you're in a 5D world experiencing her in a way that's helping you grow. And that's my personal interpretation of it. But, you know, if you want to share your perspective, Lloyd, and we can have a conversation here about this.
Yeah, I mean, we got to assume that when I say 3D and 5D, that I mean the same thing as when you say 3D and 5D, which may not be the case. So let me just tease it out a little. So what my experience is at the moment is that my constant thought, my constant interest, my constant focus is on transcending being personally affected by other people's opinions, engaging with the polarization energy of the world at large, listening to people giving out about things, just the general rah-rah of the world, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm listening to and I'm surrounded by is like quite a lot of love, but then also all this energy of conflict and defiance against, you know, the world at large, these horrible pharmaceutical companies, and, you know, all this sort of stuff that's happening obviously out there in the other universe. And I was finding it very difficult to reconcile the two. I'm very clearly going in a particular direction, and I want us all to go there.
Yeah.
We got a little child who's in the middle of all this, and it's, I don't know how I'm not 100% sure how I should be responding, and therefore I am reacting.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's a problem, right? So I want to tone down the reacting, but I also want to bridge to communication, right? But I'm just struggling.
Yeah, well, from my perspective, it's really first and foremost letting go of any insistence that it has to go any way whatsoever, right? It's being totally at peace with full communication, and it's being totally at peace with zero communication, because maybe that's not the scenario that's going to unfold. So that's living in a 5D world, is when you have peace no matter what the outcome is, no matter how the other person is interpreting you. So you could say, hey, in this relationship, I would prefer to have open dialogue, open communication. You know, can we make an agreement to have this? But if that person's like, no, well, you still got to be at peace with that. And then it's up to you. How am I going to respond to that? Right? Can I maintain this relationship with someone that doesn't want to communicate with me versus, you know, is it better for me to leave? And I'm not suggesting that's the scenario for you, because as we shared before, you know, I believe this is a great growing opportunity. And that's what the whole point of a relationship, particularly a spousal relationship, is, for growth. What do you think about that, Lloyd?
Sounds plausible, yep.
It's because it's all about you, and it sounds kind of interesting when you say that, right? Because
I'm only being facetious there. No, I recognize that it's a learning opportunity. I've been finding I'm a person who's typically not at a result of their emotions.
Yeah.
I'm consciously choosing emotions, constantly engaging with people at a time when I want to engage.
Yeah. But there's still an insistence there. Here, just let me show you this, Lloyd. Just by show of hands, can people still see how Lloyd's insisting on something to happen in this relationship? Just show. Can you see the hands here, Lloyd? Right, you have social proof, right? So as much as you're directing it, you're still kind of insisting that it goes in a particular direction, and that's where it's tripping you up.
All right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, brother. So just work on that releasing, man. Just let it go. Release and grow rich, right? Don't think and grow rich. Release and grow rich. And I'm happy to have a deeper conversation with you at another time as well. Just by show of hands, are people appreciating that conversation between me and Lloyd, right? Is that giving you a glimpse into your own universe, your own reality? Absolutely. So thank you. Thank you, Lloyd, for your vulnerability to share that, because it's not easy, but it's greatly beneficial for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the sake of time here, let's wrap it up. I appreciate all of you joining me. This is every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, there's the time difference now, so keep that in mind if you're in a different time zone. As Lloyd, thank you for actually coming, though, and gaining some value here despite not being with us the whole time. And if you would like to embrace this community, if you would like to join us in this collective transcendence to higher consciousness, every day of the week we're hosting a class. Simply reach out to whomever invited you here, and we'll embrace you, invite you, welcome you into our community, and we'll get you started with those next steps, and we'll be supporting you every step of the way. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Much love.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Your class is awesome.